Hi everybody, my name is Nicole Jewell, and I am going to be doing my informative speech on autism. So the title of it is Autism, or is it Asperger's? When I was 6 or 7 years old, I was diagnosed with having autism spectrum disorder on the milder side, having the higher functioning version, which now doctors have given it the term Asperger's syndrome. Which simply put is a higher functioning form of autism. So my first quote for you today comes from Marcel Adams, where he says that autism is a psychiatric neurological condition in which alterations in social interactions, among other symptoms, are diagnosed by behavioral psychiatric methods. So that's just saying that the big difference in his view is that it's just the social aspect that is the deciding factor between the two. So being able to make eye contact, not being able to do that, not being able to start conversations, whereas people with autism struggle mostly with their intellectual disabilities. And so currently there's a lot of debate going on between this because they're always coming up with new terms and new data and stuff that needs to be evaluated. So they're always changing it. So my next quote will come from What is the Difference Between Asperger's and Autism? And it simply is, as Joy says, or Hezekiah Joy says, Asperger's syndrome is a subcategory of autism spectrum disorder and is distinguished from other types of autism spectrum disorder by relatively preserved verbal and intellectual disabilities. Despite having high intellectual disabilities, individuals with Asperger's show deficiencies in a wide range of social disabilities. So, to agree and, to concur with the previous statement is that autism, Asperger's and autism are almost the same except for the social disability. And when it comes to categorizing those who are diagnosed, around 60% of people with autism will be diagnosed with Asperger's as well, or be put into that, and that's by Rebecca McCrory. So when you think about that, that's more than half the people in the world have been diagnosed with autism, which, if you watch TV, a lot of the times you'll see a commercial that says 1 in 86 or 1 in 76 children will be diagnosed with autism. So when you think of that, then you think that 60% of those children will also be placed in the Asperger's category. And that all that information is up to date as of 2014. So that's a really big thing to remember too when you talk about autism, is knowing that your research is up to date because it's changing all the time, every couple of months. So we can see that just because you have autism doesn't mean necessarily that you will have Asperger's, but it's a very high chance that you will be placed inside of the category of having Asperger's. So is it autism or is it Asperger's? Well, it could be both. So thank you for watching my speech.